Hello, I'm Bradley and welcome. So if you would have seen my last video clip, we were discussing ways about how I suggested that you could prolong your hairstyle after you've had your haircut a couple of weeks, and hopefully you would have really perhaps given those things a try, or hopefully you're bearing them in mind. So I have had my haircut today. So going on the things which we talked about in my last video, so for example, making sure that you're looking after and keeping your hair moisturised, which will prolong that cut. Looking after the grooming, so for example, eyebrows, your ears, your nose, and keeping facial hair really groomed and clean shaven if that's your style. And of course, changing up hairstyles if that's something which possibly you can do. For example, if you've got an undercut and you've let that grow out slightly, that then opens you up to being able to sort of experiment with different hairstyles, particularly if you've got longer hair on top. A great opportunity of jumping in with different products you may not necessarily use to really try a style which can be different and can work for you. So today I've had a haircut, so absolutely always look forward to having a haircut, nice and fresh, again smart looking, and I can almost start my cycle of hairstyles off again. So for example, what I've done today is I have had my haircut this morning, so early this morning I've had my haircut, and I have had my style which I'm comfortable with at the moment. I haven't really changed my style up for quite a while, but however it's a style which really works for me. It works for a whole host of different styles. So I have had a nought at the bottom here down by the sort of lower sideburn edge here, and then I've had 0.5 into a 1, and then I've had a really defined line on both sides taken in, and then in the back here I've got it sort of arrowed down towards the back and towards a point, which I will attach a picture which you'll be able to see how the back of my hair looks, and then hopefully you can see from the top here I've got some texture going on. So again, that sort of swoop look we've got going on today, and I've actually had the length of my hair on top. I was really unsure about this because I think it's so easy to get caught up with a style, particularly if you're growing out an area of your hair. For example, if it's your sides or the top of your hair, sorry, or a fringe, it's really easy to get caught up with letting that hair grow and grow. But what's important for healthy hair growth and for hair what looks good and sort of healthy and shiny and looks good in your style is regular trims. So for example, I haven't had the hair on my top of my head cut for quite some time, possibly nearly 4 months now I believe. It might even be a little bit longer. So holding the hair up in between a comb, you can see that the hair had really grown out and there was no sort of defined line at all. So it didn't look smart and it didn't look sharp. But however, of course, if it was styled, you didn't notice it, so it wasn't really a problem. And that's probably why I didn't have a look into having anything done there, because I was happy and I was kind of attached to having longer hair. So had that chat with the lady who was cutting my hair this morning. I go to my regular sort of barbers, hairdressers, and I have used them for a very long time. It's local to me and I've got a really great rapport with the person who cuts my hair. And I actually went to school with that person, so it's quite strange almost. I was a couple years higher than the gal at school, and it's really great. And I know her, she knows me, so she knows how I really like to style my hair and what I don't like. So really happy with the style which I've had today. I didn't actually style this haircut. The lady who cut my hair did. So the products which I believe which were used was from the Redkin range, and I think it's a relatively new range in black packaging. I haven't got them at the moment. It might well be something which I'll purchase in the near future, and then we're to do a bit of a review and possibly styling my hair with them, or attach that. So I had my hair, didn't have it washed or anything like that today. It was just sprayed down and then cut, and then from there I've had my hair shaved up at the sides and I've had it cut on the top. I haven't had it cut in zoo, haven't had it texturised or anything, we've only just cut the ends. Back along I had my hair texturised, that's now almost, I believe, grown out now. Sometimes it's a great look if you're looking for texture and almost like a messy style on top, but I always find if you've got comb styles going on and you're looking for that real groomed look, sometimes when you're texturising the hair or if you're thinning out the hair, it can make that a little bit more difficult to style, particularly if you don't want to use heavy products like pomades and gels and sort of cream-based products. If you're just doing it quite loose, very often I always find if I'm styling my hair after it's been texturised, there's lots of little hairs around, which really sometimes frustrates me. However, of course, if you like that broken up texture and you've got shorter hair, then absolutely brilliant to suggest to the person who's cutting your hair having texture or thinning out areas which possibly a little bit bulky or more difficult to style. Again, even if you've got finer texture hair, sometimes thinning hair out, of course you're not cutting it away. Those people are trained to cut your hair, and they can work with you for a better style, and if you're looking for texture, then that's a great way of achieving it. So going back to how it was styled for me today, it was from the Redken range, and I believe it was a wax. It was like a pump wax, like a wax paste almost. So it was literally just run between hands and then just run through my hair, and you can almost see the definition broken up here with sort of the use of hands putting it through. And then I've literally had nothing too much done with the sides here, and then after we finished, I've had a hairspray used over the top of my hair, which again I believe is from the Redken range, and I'm really happy with it. Again, really pleased with the style today. Hopefully it might even be something which you would like to try out yourself. It sometimes looks a lot more than what it is, especially my style on the top of my hair at the moment looks like it would take quite a long time. However, if you've got your hair dried back smooth and you've got a lot of volume in there, using root lift sprays or even using a texturizing powder, and you've got a lot of volume in there and a lot of texture, which gives you that resistance, sometimes just a little bit of product, or for example like a wax or a putty or a pomade, through your hands and then through your hair, spray over the top very quickly, and then you are left with a really good style, really trendy and really professional looking. And of course you can add more product if you want to, or you can have less as well. Sometimes less is more, of course. So at the bottom here, just recapping, I have got a 0 here down by the edge of the sideburn, and I've got a 0.5 and then to a 1. I believe this is in between a 2 or blended, but I have got a defined line left here. I've got on both sides, and then it arrows down to the back, so it's sort of got like an arch, and then it points down at the back here. I choose that style because it always gives a bit of a feature at the back, particularly when I wear hearing aids. I think that's quite a good tip. And it's a really great style as well for sort of growing out. As you've probably seen in my previous clips which I have done, you can see that the style, the undercut, takes usually about 2 weeks to grow out, and then in that period I then kind of leave the undercut styles, which kind of like what I've got today. Very often I would do a bit more of a higher volume, or even do a slicked back look with lots of product and the use of a comb. Once the undercut grows out, I then go into my sort of longer styles and bring the fringe across my face, and then sometimes even have the hair parted off to the side longer, so then that covers my hearing aids. So yes, absolutely. So really hope you enjoyed the clip today, and hopefully we've covered some tips there you'll be able to take away and use, hopefully. So thank you very much for watching from that perspective. So thanks very much, and until next time, we'll see you then. Bye bye.